In a historic policy shift, Australia has announced that it will officially recognise Palestine as an independent state at the United Nations General Assembly in September. Prime Minister Anthony Albanese made the declaration during a press conference, citing the urgent need to end the cycle of violence and humanitarian suffering in Gaza.
Today I can confirm that at the 80th session of the United Nations General Assembly in September, Australia will recognise the state of Palestine.
The move places Australia alongside France, the United Kingdom and Canada, who have all committed to recognising a Palestinian state in September. New Zealand has also signalled its intent to join, pending a final decision.
Again, the same thing for us is, we want to see hostages released, we want to see unfettered humanitarian aid flooding into Gaza, and we want to see a ceasefire. The military action that we've seen is not the way to solve this problem. It requires diplomacy, it requires dialogue.
New Zealand's Foreign Minister Winston Peters stated that the country will make a formal decision by next month. He reaffirmed New Zealand's long-standing support for a two-state solution and said the issue is now under active review. France's President Emmanuel Macron, the UK's Keir Starmer, and Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney have all tied recognition to urgent reforms within the Palestinian Authority and the worsening humanitarian situation in Gaza.
For the reasons I cited earlier, Canada intends to recognize the state of Palestine at the 80th session of the United Nations General Assembly in September 2025.
Our goal remains a safe and secure Israel alongside a viable and sovereign Palestinian state.
Israel has reacted strongly. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's office condemned the recognitions, calling them a reward for terrorism and warning that such moves undermine peace and embolden Hamas. Meanwhile, Netanyahu is expected to complete a new Gaza offensive fairly quickly, as the UN Security Council heard new demands for an end to suffering in the Palestinian enclave.
5 principles for concluding the war. 1.
Netanyahu approved a much-criticised plan to take control of Gaza City, said he had no choice but to complete the job and defeat Hamas to free hostages seized from Israel.
Israel's Security Cabinet instructed the IDF to dismantle the 2 remaining Hamas strongholds in Gaza City and the central camps. Contrary to false claims, this is the best way to end the war and the best way to end it speedily.
Palestinian leaders welcomed the news, calling it a crucial turning point in the fight for international legitimacy and self-determination. They also praised the international community for listening to decades of calls for justice. Since Palestine declared independence in 1988, over 140 countries have recognized its statehood. Recent recognitions by Norway, Ireland, Spain and Slovenia have added momentum to a growing global wave, especially within Western democracies. But notably, no G7 country had taken this step until now. With Canada and Australia's decisions, that line has finally been crossed. As the world prepares for the UN General Assembly this September, pressure is building. The growing recognition of Palestine could reshape future peace negotiations, shift international alliances, and further isolate Israel on the global stage. The question now, will this be the breakthrough the region has waited decades for, or the start of a deeper divide?
Been fighting so long and so hard that they don't know what the they're doing.